Good evening, gentlemen. It's Friday. It's the 26th of May. It's 9 o'clock. And if you're watching this on replay, then hello, good evening, happy bank holiday. Welcome to the summer. It's nice to see you nice. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Okay, so I'll say hello to a few people right now. Richard O, good evening. Donald Trump, good evening, mate. John Mitch, hi Eddie, how's the ginger beer tasting? I love that stuff. I bloody love it. You know, it's the diet ginger beer that I get from the co-op. I love it. I'm enjoying that as much in an evening time or last thing at night as I used to enjoy the beer. Except people say, you know, the diet ginger beer is probably worse for you than the real beer because it's got those sweetener things in there. That's everyone's telling me ditch anything with those sweetener things in. But anyway, nice to hear from you, John. Brian Street, nice to hear from you, mate. Crypto Chris Card. Martin Ryder, Krabby's alcoholic ginger beer for me. Well, actually, I'm Krabby's. That I think what they call that. This is a it's hot chocolate. It's another version of the hot chocolate. This one isn't as nice as the one that I usually buy. Ben Fern K, nice to hear from you, mate. All the way from Florida. Okay, lovely to hear from you. Leo Malley, put this one on the screen. My travels have now taken me to Lombok, Indonesia. Watching the stream from my beach bungalow. Oh, good for you, mate. Anyway, I never made it to Lombok because it was February time I went to Bali, and I heard that it was a little bit out of season and the weather wasn't good. But good luck with that beach bungalow. I've decided I wouldn't stay in another one of them, mozzies and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, nice to hear from you. Seamus Doherty is here. Nice to hear from you, Seamus. Delayed Dave is here. Nice to hear from you. Bottle Baby, he's live tonight. Okay, good for you. Joker AI, hi Eddie. Alan Hunter, hi. Why does he always remind me of someone at a Crossroads? Or was that David Hunter? I think it was David Hunter, wasn't it? Where am I now? Alan Hunter, hi, looking good. Enjoy your bank holiday. I'm going to mention something in a minute. I might enjoy it, but I've got to get something out of the way with first of all. Sean Young, great to see you. Well, keep off the ale. You're such an inspiration. Yeah, it's nearly 2 months now, and I don't feel like going back to it. But there's always something, isn't it? I mean, it's always a day, apart from all the other people that told me those sweetener things are not good for you. Anything with sweeteners and stuff, even whatever. Oh, well. Ben Leno just arrived in Bangkok. Pattaya tomorrow. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Dave G. Eddie's half cut. What makes you say that? Nice to hear from you. Gaz77, good to hear from you, mate. You must be having a good time. We haven't heard from him for a while. Hi, Eddie. I'm still in Portugal, living the best life for free. In case for those not familiar with Gaz, he likes to shop around for free. He fills his trolley up, runs off without paying. He fills his car up on his motorbike without paying. He puts his granny's knickers on his head, and he's wonderful. He does all kinds of wonderful things. Alan Hunter, nice back to okay. Damon is here. Nice to hear from you, Damon. I had Opal's well watching your stream in Soy 7 Pattaya with my Thai partner, Kiao. Give it a shout out, please. Hello to Kiao. I hope I pronounced that well. Okay, hello, Kiao. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you're having a great time, Damon. Well, it's nice to know that people go to these places and are still watching this live stream. Cheers for that. Gaz77, I'm still with the Spanish lads in Portugal. I'm still teaching how to get free shopping, you robbing bastard. Okay. Bobby Crush, get back on the ale, Eddie. You've lost the weight now, and it's so. No, I haven't really lost the weight. Not really. It's deceptive. It's deceptive the way that I'm done, because there's many a time that I've thought that I've lost weight, and then I've actually waited to stand on some scales, and after a long time, I'm going to stand on these scales now. First time I've stood on scales for months and months. Let's see how much weight I've lost. And I've stood on the scales and realised that I've lost 2 pounds. What? I thought it was going to be 2 stone. So it's deceptive, really. But thanks anyway, Bobby. Matthew Cartwright, hello. Lee Clark looks like you're in cell block age. Cy London, will you not have a few drinks on vacation? Well, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Bobby Crush is telling me to drink vodka with a low calorie. Yeah, he's telling me to go back on the booze. Let's see. Sean Harris. Hey, Ed and company. Best wishes for time. Just got back to the hotel room. Hope you're well. Sean, Sean Harris is well. A lot of people this week are going out to Thailand. Damon has gone out there. Sean Harris has just arrived there. Good for you anyway, Sean. Nice to hear from you. Mark Hollick, nice to hear from you, Mark. Put Mark on the screen. Good evening to you, Mark. Hope all's well, mate. Yeah, Mark Hollick. P.S. Doctor Who lives in a TARDIS. Yeah, I mentioned to Mark who was his favourite Doctor Who. I rather like John Pertwee. Mark put a nice picture of a telephone box on Facebook. Paul Harrison, good evening. Damon, thank you, Ed. Much appreciated. She's very happy now. Cheers. Okay, Kiao. Okay, have a lovely evening anyway. Joker. Hi, Eddie. The Black Emmanuel bundle on sale for $300 pre-order. You get all movies and lots of goodies. Laura Geezer is a goddess. I think you mean... you don't seriously think I would watch movies like that, do you? I think you'll find her name was Laura Gemser. I think that's what she was. Very, very tasty woman. I still prefer Sylvia Christel. I really like Sylvia Christel. But anyway, good for you anyway, mate. Yeah, joking out, Laura Gemser. I put Cass's comment on the screen. We're going to talk about it in a minute, mate. Yeah, Alan Hunter is going from Toronto to Bangkok via Istanbul. $1,100 June the 6th. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Oh, she's back. She's back from outer space. There we go. Lisa Dale, the one and only legendary Lisa Dale. How are you? Dirty. Here we go. A gaggle of sex tourists who have to pay for it. Shame on you all. And you tell me, Lisa, that you don't pay for those bloody big Gambian sausages that go up your sweaty orifices. Are you telling me that? I mean, those you probably your gigolos are probably walking around with fancy designer clothes on, which you paid for. Oh my God, oh my! Nice to hear from you anyway, Lisa. Hope all's well. hope you're having a good bit of DP. She's probably having a bit of DP at this very moment. Sean Harris, try streaming maybe you like. Okay, we'll see what happens. We'll see what. But I wouldn't expect medicals. Paul Hoskin, is there anywhere you want to go that you haven't been yet? Oh, I don't know. I've got travel under review right now. I mean, where can I go? I was looking at Hungary. But it doesn't really look that very exciting from what I've seen. I haven't been there yet. Neil Fleet, nice to hear from you, Neil. Joe Hart is here. Marco, Lisa Dale is in the house. Okay, she comes here for a bit of attention, to get a bit of attention, and then she goes back to her bloody, her dusky-skinned lovers who were probably half her age and half her body weight. Let's see. Okay. Martin Ryder off to Valencia next week. I've been to Valencia. My mate reckons you can check it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. That sounds bloody good. You have a nice time anyway, Martin. Lisa Dale, you're barking up the wrong tree, Eddie. I'm actually a lesbian. Really? What part of Lesbia do you come from exactly? Leo Malley, a first for the channel next weekend. I'll be watching from Timor Leste. Oh, okay, good for you. He's Leo Malley's in Indonesia right now. So all these people who are in exotic destinations. Okay, so I'm trying to keep a brave face. I'm trying to keep a brave face. Let's just get this little question out the way with, okay? Let's see. Okay, let's just get this one. Let's just get this question out of the way with. Only a little question. Yeah. Okay. So I'm expecting a good week. The weather's picked up, and we might try and do things this week. Except I've got to get something out of the way. But I've got to. Oh God! I've got a hospital appointment tomorrow, and I hate hospitals. I hate hospitals. I hate them putting bloody needles in you, and yeah, to hospital appointments. What are you? If it goes okay, then I'll tell you about it later. But I don't want to talk about it just now. Just basically, it's a hospital appointment that involves me, lying down somewhere and people standing over me and putting needles and scalpels and all kinds of other things in a place where I wouldn't really want them to be. Um, Someone told me, like, don't worry, it's kind of simple. But I hate hospitals. I hate this, maybe because I'm not used to them. I'm one of these people that managed to go through life without ever really, spending time in hospitals. Some poor bastards are never out of the places, but I've been quite lucky in that way. But I just I want that nasty ordeal over and done with, and I probably will make a little bit of a make a little bit of a video about it anyway. Joker AL, thank you. You look much healthier. Good. All right. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Cheers. Eddie, I think, but Jason Finns, Eddie, I think the tires should not change. Okay. Mark Alec, southern part of lesbian. Okay, definitely. Yeah, Steve Zodiac. Currently raining in Siam Reap, only 29 Celsius at 3 a.m. Currently raining in Siam Reap's a great place, great place. Even in the rain, I mean, I'm sure it's a great place to be. Ben Leno. Keep guessing, keep guessing. But Paul Harrison. No, I've had so many hospital appointments lately. I'd be a wreck if I worried about them. I rarely have a hospital appointment, but then when I see it come, I just don't like. I don't like bloody needles and stuff. I don't like stuff like that. I don't like stuff like that, and especially I don't like blades and all kinds of other things. Delayed Dave, is it a cystoscopy? I'm not just sure what that is. I'm not just sure what that is. Let's see, Martin Ryder, before you get to the hospital, down a bottle of Lamb's Navy, you won't feel a thing, okay? Paul Harrison had a CAT scan on my heart last week, get the results next week. Okay, well, good luck to you. To be honest with you, this appointment has been almost a year in the making. I mean, because I went to a doctor a year ago, and we talked about a couple of things, and I was surprised to get this appointment, this letter through the post, because the thing is, the hospital waiting list now to get anything done, you got to. And I thought they'd given up on me. I thought they'd forgotten about me, and then this letter came out of the blue. And I thought, well, Jesus, I got it. Oh no, needles and all this kind of stuff and all that. But anyway, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow anyway. Alan Hunter, yes, I hate waiting for 4 hours once I arrive. I wouldn't have mattered. No, I think it's a good time. I think it's a time when I wouldn't necessarily have to wait, and it is an appointment anyway. So, it won't be. I won't be waiting. John Mitch. Not long ago, I had a colonoscopy, a tube with a camera on the end of it shoved up my. I haven't had that one yet, but I have heard of people who've had that. Same as Doherty. It's hard to get a hospital appointment these days. Well, this was suggested to me round about last summer. I think it was in the month of June or something like that. And they suggested this appointment with the hospital, and it came. They said, but you might be waiting, maybe March or something like that. Well, okay, fair enough. But now, like, it's just come out of the blue, and it's tomorrow, and I just, oh, just Jesus, I just want the whole nasty ordeal over and done with. Brian, appointments are better than being admitted. Yeah, quite right, mate. It's quite right, quite right. Mark Ollie, sometimes it usually turns out okay. I never look where they draw the blood out me like a vampire into 5 of those bloody glass tubes. It don't hurt. I just don't like seeing blood, especially my own. Oh well, yeah. I think it's the build up to it that the build up to something like that. I've had skin grafts, in the past. It's the build up to it, and afterwards you think, well, what was I really worried about? But yeah, the thing is, I may wait, well, I'm not going to put me to sleep, but they're going to give me injections to numb whatever they got to numb. I mean, I may come to and like just think, was that it? That wasn't really that painful. That's a possibility. Or I may just think, ah, yeah, all of a sudden, don't worry, this is not going to hurt. And the next minute, I scream the bloody hospital down. I just want the whole nasty ordeal over and done with. Sceneries. If I get seen in a reasonable time at hospital, it's okay. But the longer I wait to get called stresses you. Absolutely. Leo Malley. Ed, now that you're not drinking, it might be worth checking out some of the dry countries you never would have visited before. Brunei, Saudi, etc. Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got to rethink, and it's rethink the travel right now. I've got to sit down and really, really rethink it. Bobby Crush, the NHS has gone downhill. I was in a hospital bed, and the nurse said, "Do you want a bedpan?" I said, "What? Do I have to do my own cooking as well?" Thank you. Well done. Martin Ryder, watching Katie Hopkins channels, he paid 200 quid for a full medical check in Dubai. No waiting. Get all the results within hours. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it comes down to travel insurance, doesn't it? I mean, some of the countries are probably a lot more efficient than we are. I mean, we do pay for the national health, and we pay our national health insurance. Bobby Crush, always on form tonight. I had a camera up my rectum. It wasn't a doctor. I fell on the GoPro on a nudist beach. Well, so Bobby, I didn't mind to bend it over the doctor to check my prostate, but when he put his hands on my shoulders, I got worried. Marco Oleg, get the colonoscopy, Eddie. It don't hurt, but the stuff you need to drink the night before tastes terrible, and it's the worst part of the whole ordeal. P.S. Stay close to the loo. Oh, this. Is that where that song goes on? Skip to the loo. Skip. Is that where that song goes on? Oh my God Almighty! Yeah. So anyway, so hospital appointments worry you. Well, they worry me maybe because I'm not used to them, but it's. I just want the whole. I'll feel better tomorrow. I mean, I'll probably make a little bit of a video of it, but it's I just want the nasty ordeal over it. Well, at least you guys have made me smile anyway. At least you've made me smile anyway. So who's this? Mike. I would never pay a cent for health insurance as it's not mandatory, unlike car insurance, which is a rip-off. Health insurance. Well, in Britain, we don't pay health insurance. We have a national health here. Martin Ryder, don't worry, they warm up the anal probe before it's certain. Okay. Poppycon, hope all's well, Ed. I can't imagine they will be doing anything major on a Saturday. Best to get Ed out there. Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I think anything, anything is kind of major in a way. I mean, it's not like major, but it's still quite important. But yeah, the Saturday, it did actually seem an unusual time. But anyway, it's nice to hear from you, Poppycon. Anyway. What I was what okay, so that's made me feel a bit better anyway. Move that one. Okay. So anyway, in this country, we're not going to talk about anyone called Schofield tonight. We're not going to talk about that because lots of people are talking about somebody called Schofield, and it's not. I've never watched the guy. I've never watched the guy on TV, so I can't comment on him anyway. But there's someone of that name who's in a lot of trouble right now. Anyway, that's the way it seems. So we're going to talk about something else. The United Kingdom, the immigration results have come out this week, and it's getting worse. In fact, all of these people who tell you the immigration into Britain seems to be like a public convenience for every other country on the planet. We may as well ring the dinner bell, with this generous benefit system that we have. Britain is a public convenience for every other country out there. And basically, the new immigration figures have said that 1.2 million immigrants came into this country last year, and of those, about 5,500,000 left, which basically it means that over 600,000 immigrants came to this country last year. That's not necessarily illegals; it's maybe legal immigrants, but 600,000. That is a colossal amount of people, and it's got to the stage now when you've got to say to yourself, it's never going to end. It's just going to get worse and worse. I mean, what is what I'd like to know is what is the hidden agenda? Okay, I'll phrase that in a moment. Anyway, I'll phrase that in a moment. Let's just see what the comments are. Serge is here. Serge is here. Hi, Eddie. Good to see you. Okay. Mark Ollig, I'm thinking of immigrating to the UK. You might like it here, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that you're not coming here to go on the dole, Mark. I mean, or you're not going to come here to to cheat the benefit system. That's what a lot of these immigrants do. A lot of these immigrants do work. They do work, but a lot of them come here to take the mickey out of our good nature. That's the nature of the game. Martin Ryder, 600,000 population of Bristol. It's a colossal amount. It is a colossal amount of it. 600,000. If that carries on for the next 10 years, that'll be another 6 million people. But it's going up, isn't it? So it's not going to be 600,000 next year. It's going to be more like 800,000 next year. And it's going to go up and up. Mike, you get much more than benefits in Ireland, and we are getting flooded with immigrants. Absolutely, and when exactly? When exactly did Ireland colonize another country? I mean, there's a case to say that Britain, we went to other countries, and we ruled other countries. So this is payback, really. Whereas Ireland, what other countries did they colonize? Mark Alec. Tina was simply the best. We'll mention Tina Turner soon. We haven't forgotten about her. Tina Turner was wonderful. The rookie cameraman, how's it going, Eddie? What table have you got tonight? I've got hot chocolate. Actually, this is called drinking chocolate. The hot chocolate, I think it's still Cadbury's, but it doesn't taste as the stuff usually does. Paul Hoskin, I like nut bus city limits. Okay. I'm sure you like a bit of bus. Mark Ollick, I'm come for all the free benefits. Just kidding. That's what they come here for, mate. Alan Hunter. No, I'm not going to mention Idi Amin. No, I just did, didn't I? I just did mention Idi Amin. Okay. If the Prime Minister and Home Secretary, but whatever, yeah, okay. So basically, I mean, what is the hidden agenda? I mean, this seems deliberate. They're not going to do anything about it. Each Home Secretary, each Prime Minister says, we're going to do something about it. It only seems like last week when David Cameron, and this was about 10 or 12 years ago, was saying that we're going to bring immigration into Britain down to the tens of thousands. The tens of thousands, bollocks. It's 600,000 in the last year. That is absolutely obscene. John Mitch, over 500,000 UK citizens left the UK. 1.2 million foreigners came and settled in the UK. Okay, so well, that looks like 700,000 to me, but they're saying it's 600,000. It probably is 700,000. Citizen Mikey, there will be more Bradford stands. Okay. Paul Hoskin, we won the war for goodness sake. Well, Martin Ryder, every nurse employed in my wife's hospital is from abroad. Philippines, India, Nepal, Nigeria. Okay. I'm sure a lot of them do a very, very good job. It's probably going to be one of those nationalities who's coming up with sharp objects when I'm in the hospital tomorrow. And as long as they get it right, then I don't care. Bobby Crush, they're going to have to go, and that's that. They're not going anywhere. They are going to stay. They're going to stay. They're going to stay here, and there's more coming next year. This seems to me to be deliberate. I mean, whatever the government says, or whatever any government or any politician says, they're lying. They're not going to do nothing about it. It's just like shoveling shit against the tide. I mean, 10 or 12 years ago, a prime minister of this country said we're going to get immigration down to the tens of thousands, and now all these years later it's 600,000 in a year, and next year it'll probably be 800,000. It just seems deliberate to me. Crypto Chris card, it is deliberate. Crypto Chris card, Cameron lied. A politician who tells lies, never. The rookie cameraman. Britain seems to be going right down the Swanee. The place is a mess. Immigration, NHS, education, constantly giving millions of. I mean, the thing. I'm not going to read out that last bit, but because they don't like you talking about that on YouTube. Not really. I mean, the thing is, it's you notice this on the roads. I mean, the amount of traffic jams. You look at all. I live in Devon. I mean, there's a fair few, not as many, obviously, as there is in London or the cities. But when you see traffic jams, you've got to say a lot of these are people who are not indigenous to Britain. A lot of these are people, immigrants who are clogging up the roads here. When you go to the hospital, the reason it takes so long to get a hospital appointment is because there's so many immigrants who want hospital appointments. The difference is that I've bloody paid for it through my national health over the years. Paul Hoskin, put them on the Isle of Wight. Well, it wouldn't be fair to the people who live on the Isle of Wight. Alan Hunter, one man want to do the math. Okay. Martin Ryder, all the NHS jobs are advertised abroad. Well, there's so much short staffing in the in the NHS, really, aren't there? Rocky Cameraman says it's all by design. Okay, there's definitely a hidden agenda. Sykes tells the only people who benefit from immigration are the British fat women who go after the African guy. Okay, fair enough. Mark Alex shoveling sheet against its head. Okay. Stephen West. Really? Oh, I thought they were nice people. Bobby Crush. So many nationalities when I'm in the queue at Little. I feel like I'm backstage at the Eurovision Song Contest. The thing is, most of these immigrants do not come from Europe. They do not come from European countries. They come from countries which are outside of Europe. I mean, since when was Eritrea in the European Union. Most people don't even know where Eritrea is. They're coming from places like Iraq and Iran and places like that, places which are far removed from the European Union. But Sean Harris, do you like girls in nurses' uniform? Only if it's Barbara Windsor. Mark Hollick, I'd invite you all to move out of the US, but we are about to default on our bills as we have no money to help you out. Yeah, oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Not for the first time, as America come close to losing its triple A credit rating. Let's see now. Repair shop. Okay, he's fairly blunt about that. Bobby Crush, we need to program mass repatriation. It's never going to happen. Whatever happens to those flights to Rwanda, it was a good idea and it's still a good idea, but it's never going to happen. It's never going. I'll believe it when I see it. It was an absolute farce last time. The idea of sending it would work as a deterrent. I think it probably would. If these people are prepared to pay thousands to traffickers to come along in dinghies and risk their life in the channel, if they wouldn't pay that money if they thought that after paying thousands of pounds and getting to Britain, they were going to be bunged on a flight to Rwanda. They wouldn't come here. But this Rwanda thing, it's never going to happen. It just seems like a joke. It seems like a farce. Richard O, Ed, they say 600,000, but it's most likely a lot more than that amount. Absolutely. Daniel Mills, Ed, by 2025, the UK will have a bigger population than France. That's taken into account. France is more than double the size of the UK. Well, I mean, if you talk about, land mass, I mean, how many more times is Canada bigger than the UK? And they've got a smaller population than we have. I mean, I've heard people today saying there's enough room to build houses in Britain, for all of these newcomers. I mean, where I live in the Devon country, I was driving today to the lush Devon countryside. Let's keep it that way. The countryside is absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't want to see bloody housing estates springing up on those lovely green fields and hills. Especially if they're going to be full of, immigrants who have no right to be here. Citizen Mikey, if immigration was in sensible numbers, not okay. Well, I'm not going to comment on that. Daniel Mills, the UK is about to sink. Okay. Martin Ryder, why can't we train up our own people? Now, this is the thing that's being discussed, isn't it? Because I don't know. I mean, apparently there's over 2 million British people on sickness benefit. And do you really believe that they're all really, really sick? I don't. I've met plenty of people who say that they're on sickness benefit. They look healthier than I do. Some of these people look like they've got sod all wrong with them. And they say that they're on sickness benefit because the benefits. British people, English people are very, very much to blame as well. Let's not forget their role in all of this, because a lot of British people, they don't want to work. They want to be on benefits where they get more money than they get all the benefits and maximum. Something like 2 million plus British people are on sickness benefit, and how many of those are genuine? I would suggest a minority. Think about it. There's been plenty of cases where where someone's been on sickness benefit, invalidity benefit, he can't walk, he can't move about properly, and someone's done a bloody video of him playing rugby or diving into the swimming pool. We're a soft touch country. Smooth operator, 600,000 is the amount they know about. What about the ones who go, oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's probably a lot more than they say. And it's never going to end. The government are going to do sod all about it. They've obviously got a hidden agenda. Now, some people believe that, the immigrants actually, are better value for us than British people. I mean, British people who are claiming so much in sickness benefit when there's nothing wrong with them. A lot of those immigrants will come here and actually work and contribute to the economy. So in the long run, it's probably British people who are costing us more money. That's it. Yeah, Clive, nice to hear from you, Clive. Hey, Ed, if there was a scheme like the £10 POMs to go to Thailand, 400 baht farangs, would you pay the tenner and jump on the ship to the land of smiles? Immigration much better now. Would I pay a tenner to go to Thailand? Well, yeah, I would. But as for living there, I'd be expecting to pay a lot more than that. Patriot is one. If you were born in Syria, you would become immigrant too, most likely. Can't blame them. Humanity is way. Oh, I know. I mean, if bloody bombs and rockets were being fired at my house, yeah, I'd get the hell out of there. Repair shop. Why do foreigners love staring at people? Well, stop wearing that bloody gold chain around your neck. Stop flashing your Rolex about the place, man. Mike, it'll be a great day when the Yanks get that. Oh, I'm not, what's the matter with you, Mike? I'm not, the Americans are our friends. Repair shop. Rwanda was a fake policy. It was a bloody farce. It was. I'm going to get myself another. I'm going to get myself something to drink. Oh, God almighty. Yeah, Rwanda, fake bloody policy joke. Paul Hoskin. I'm not fussy. I will clean all the bar girls' underwear. You're sounding more like Gaz 77. Mark Ollick. People watching in the shopping malls here is a popular pastime. Yeah, that's okay. When I was driving today, and the thing is, in the sunny weather, all of those lovely girls in their skimpy clothes and their wobbly bits and, their shorty shorts and all that. I have to think to myself, if I crashed, if I actually crashed my car, could I cite as a reason? It was because of that girl in there wearing her skimpy clothes. She made me crash. Somehow, I don't think that would be acceptable. Eason Man is here. Nice to hear from you, Eason Man. The agenda isn't hidden. Big business want cheap labour, and the stories given, and the stories that okay, I think you mean the stories given to them with the Labour Party and unions on board. Okay, Eason Man, it's always worth reading out again. The agenda isn't it? Big business want cheap labour, and the stories given to them with the Labour Party and unions on board. Okay, that's fair comment. That's fair comment, and you have to ask yourself, it's one bloody lie after another from the Tories. Seems like a joke now, doesn't it? About 12 years ago, David Cameron saying, we're going to get, one of the things we're going to do, we're going to get immigration down to the tens of thousands. It's just read 600,000. What a bloody joke. But do you really think Labour are going to be any better? Labour are probably going to be worse. They're probably going to be worse. I mean, they've got a leader who apparently doesn't know what a woman is. They're all wrapped up in this woke bollocks. Patriots won. Rich people think they are better. Even they never walked a day in poor people's shoes. It's a clown show, okay? Repair shop. Rwanda was set up to fail by the conservatives, by the conservatives. But I just think it was a joke. I think it was a farce. It was absolute bloody farce. Mark Alex says the unions are filth. Okay. Let's see. Mark Alex is okay. That sounds like the perfect answer. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Richard O. Richard O. GPs could be offered financial incentives to help recruit patients for clinical trials under ambitious government plans. I think you lost me with that one. Ben Leno, Pages Newsletter, it's working class people who vote for Brexit because they don't want foreigners in the UK pushing down the wages. Well, what a rip-roaring success Brexit has been. I mean, as the weeks go by, it seems more and more like Brexit was just a bloody a farce. Take control of our borders. Bring sovereignty back to Great Britain. And we've got more immigrants than we know. We have a figured on. A load of rubbish. Martin Ryder, Serco keep calling me up begging to rent out at my buy-to-let dinghy drivers. Buy-to-let dinghy drivers. They invite me to all expensive conferences. Sodom, okay. Patriotism. Eddie, if you heard you could go to Dubai and get 5,000 a month for joining benefits, would you do the same? That's what the Syrians did. But they don't go to Dubai, do they? What is it? These people who come from Arabic countries, where they're claiming political asylum, they're claiming that persecution and danger in their own country. I mean, why don't they go to places like Saudi Arabia? Other neighboring Arab countries, who often speak the same language and share the same religion. Why don't they want to go to those countries? No, they want to come to Britain. It's a country that's far removed from their own culture. They want to come to Britain. They want to come here because we have a soft touch benefit system. That's for starters, anyway. And Bobby Crush, and they breed like wildfire. The really shocking figures are the demographics in the schools. Okay, fair comment. Daniel Mills, 2 weeks waiting list to see an NHS doctor in Birmingham. 2 weeks? That's bloody a luxury. Everyone else has a year, mate. 2 weeks. That's a doddle. Tuffler, UK is a soft touch country. Too many do-goods to prevent any form of justice or control. Been going on since, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, what you mentioned there, that was often in the news many, many years ago. Eastern man, there wouldn't be any labour shortage if we trained our own people. We gave the world half its discoveries and inventions, and now we imported so-called skilled workers from the third world. Yeah, exactly. So but haven't we already made attempts? We've made enough attempts to train our own workers. I mean, we're wrapped up in a lot of medical students. As soon as they qualify, they want to go and live in places like Australia because they pay them more money. I mean, if we train our own people, a lot of British people don't want to work. That's the grim reality of it. So this is the problem. More than 2 million people on sickness benefit. Crypto Chris card, Thailand wouldn't give us benefits. Exactly. It's like sales. When I was a kid, we used to pick fruit and veg for the farmers in the school holidays. Why don't they do that now? I don't think there's a great deal of money in picking fruit and veg, funnily enough. Paul Hoskin, you don't get anyone claiming asylum in Thailand. Well, I don't know. I mean, I went a bit mad when I went a bit mad when I was out there. Bomb bomb. Let's see. Okay. Mark Oleg, do not run. We are your friend. We are your friends. The American, you're my friend, Mark. You're my friend across the pond. Lovely, love it. Always nice to hear from you. Doug Pinner, smash the likes. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Smash the likes. It seems everyone else is talking about bloody, Schofield, whatever his name is. Yeah, everyone's talking about it. We're not talking about that tonight because we can do better than that. Serge, picked up a friend from the Veterans Association. Had to drop him off in a hostel so he doesn't end up homeless. While in the hostel, met whatever. Yeah, that are getting money from the US government. Okay. Let's see. Martin Ryder. I would rather go to Rwanda than Bradford. I do hear that Rwanda's got some rather good wildlife. Bobby Cush. I felt sorry for the suffering experienced by many immigrants. The murders, the muggings, the fire bombings. That's why the council moved them from Kirby. Okay. Keep them coming, Bobby. Very, very good. Mark Oleg, Eddie must now boil the door. I'll tell you what I've noticed, and you may have noticed, I'm actually paying a lot less since I gave up the booze. I'm still drinking stuff like this ginger beer. That's lovely. That's so refreshing. By the way, I think I'll introduce you to this. The Co-op Diet Ginger Ale. Co-op's Diet Ginger Ale. There it is. Co-op Diet Ginger Ale. It's very, very tasty. I like it. I love it. Actually, it's about 80 for a litre. A litre bottle is about 80 pence out of the Co-op. But I do drink rather a lot of it. And people keep telling me, to lay off those sweetener things. Tim Johnson, they are good immigration and bad immigration, but we really need to get rid of the immigration and start deporting criminals. Absolutely. Well, yeah, absolutely. Oh, this is it because the violence element. There's nothing that maddens you more than when somebody from another country comes to live in Britain and then commits heinous acts like murders and rapes and whatever. And this does happen. And quite often you find that that's a person who shouldn't have been here in the first place. Mister, my Hoa ruler went to London for healthcare while I paid $1,200 a month to the formerly forced Obamacare. And I was demanding uncontrollable Howard insurance as a debtor voting against non-debt owners. Okay. Well, thanks for your information anyway. Paul Hoskin, what's the best remedy for the sunburn to keep it in your bloody pants, mate? Where are we now? Okay. Yeah, Mark Oleg. Yes, they're jiggly bits. Oh, you're talking about the. Oh, you just all of a sudden these. Once the sun comes out, all these beautiful bodies, just come out of nowhere, don't they? Eastern man, they want to bring in immigrant labour to build houses for the immigrants already here. Oh, it's just become a bloody joke. But we have to say at this, that it's never going to get better. It's just going to go up, up, up. We're surrendering our country. It's probably the fault of this country for being as soft as, but it's not us ordinary people who are to blame. It's the powers that be. I mean, they've obviously got a hidden agenda, and like Eastern man says, I mean, it's there's big companies there that want cheap labour, and to hell with the rest of us. Citizen Mikey, they should limit immigration to Norwegian birds Spanish birds, and Italian birds. I agree. I agree. And they can all come and stay in my bedroom. Okay. Englishman and Malta. We've got plenty of wobbly bits over here. Oh, I'm going. I wouldn't mind going to Malta. Thanks for that. Okay. Daniel Mills. Labour will be worse. Why would anyone vote for? I mean, Labour may well get in power next time because not because they're any good, because I mean, their message is a little bit obscure. I don't think anyone's really clear what Keir Starmer and his crew are actually going to do if and when they get into power. I don't think anyone's really quite sure about that. But if they get into power, it won't be because they're any good. It will be because the Conservative Party is falling apart. It's become a bit of a farce. Paul Hoskin. I'm sorry, I'm not up to date on that one, but it's a nice question anyway. Mark Hollick, I am proud of Eddie. Okay, thank you, Mark. That's really nice of you. Really nice of you. Bobby Crush. Even pro-immigration Labour MPs are now moaning about the number of immigrants in their constituency. Okay. Sean Harris, I crashed into the back of a bus, craning my neck to look at girls in bikinis when I just passed my driving test. Okay. Mister, I grow oranges, lemon cocoa coffee, avocados, grapefruit, bananas. All sounds very exotic, but not olives, as air experts of Association Cleaners. Yeah, okay, thank you. Boxing 14. Oh no, not more politics. It's it gets people involved. People want to talk about it. Talk about something else in a minute. Talk about something else. We've been on for 54 minutes anyway. So I think you have no English working in any of the warehouse jobs or farm jobs. A nation of lazy people won't work for the £11 an hour. Well, the thing is, exactly. £11 an hour. That's not as much money as you think it is. It's in this day and age. I mean, you take your accommodation or whatever, and your food and all that. £11 and tax out of it probably. £11 an hour is not as much as you think, mate. Mark, absolutely. Quality of life and life. I mean, the thing is, quality of life. Wasn't that one of Nigel Farage's favourite sayings? Well, didn't he say that when he was campaigning for Brexit? He was saying, it's not just about, stopping paying the money to the EU and all this kind of stuff. It's also about quality of life. Nigel Farage used to say that. It's not just about regaining sovereignty. It's also about quality of life. Well, look at the quality of life that we've got right now. We've got record inflation. We've got record numbers of immigration. It doesn't look like it's a quality of life right now. It's okay for Nigel Farage because he's a millionaire. Stephen West, we didn't get Brexit. Well, 7 years down the line, it doesn't look like it. Oh, this is terrible. Leeds, my father has worked all his life, served in the RAF, and now the government is about to take everything he owns. That's bloody dreadful. That is bloody dreadful. That is dreadful. Boxing 14, left to right, up, down, every party is the same, but all brainwashed to think they really are much different. Never voted, never will. Well, yeah, I can understand the way you feel about politics, but basically what you're saying, that they're all as bad as each other. But I still think you should vote because don't forget, millions of soldiers died in the war. for the vote. I mean, they so that we could have the freedom to choose our leaders. I mean, in some countries they can't choose their leaders. I mean, look at some countries like Cuba, for example. I mean, Fidel Castro was held up as an icon. A famous historical figure. He was admired by many people. I mean, the Cubans didn't vote for him, did they? They didn't vote for him. There's a lot of countries where they have leaders where they simply can't vote for them. So I think we should, whatever you think, you should still vote. Mark Ollick did a lot of carpet munching back in the day. Good for you. They were the days. They were the days. Did you ever get any, pubic, stuck in your teeth and all that? Yeah, but they were the days. They were the days. Oh, I love those days. Absolutely, real woman, real feminine woman. Oh, absolutely. Crypto Chris Card used to work in a whorehouse. Oh, sorry, a warehouse. Well, good for you, mate. Anyway. Mark Ollick, you never done a carpet? Yeah, absolutely. I was a young man once, and they were old carpets in them days. Absolutely, lovely stuff. They were the glorious days. They were lovely. I mean, the thing is, you used to, some people don't understand this nowadays, but for those of us who are privileged enough to remember, a hairy woman was something really feminine. You'd pull a bed, and then the next night, you'd be chatting to your mates, and your mates would be saying, what was she like? And one of the first things like you'd say is, oh God, she was lovely and hairy. She was lovely and hairy. They were the days. Tim Johnson, rich guys won't let them in their countries like Saudi Arabia. Okay. Patriots one delivery driver made €10,000 a month when he worked too. 10,000. You couldn't get me a job there, could you, mate? 10,000 euros a month. That'll do for me. Mark Ollick, I thought everything was invented in the USA. Not exactly. Not exactly everything, but maybe they perfected it. Tie 2. Ed, you back on the booze? You have that cough back? No, I'm not back on the booze. I'm drinking Co-op. The hard stuff. Co-op diet ginger ale. That's what I love it. I like it. It's. I will drink. I drink this every night. It's just the ideal thing to drink while you're watching Netflix or whatever. Lovely stuff. Mr. says, who would have thought leverage is used against people? Well, it's the real world, isn't it, mate? Bulldog, Eddie, you think Great Britain is bad? You should live here in Australia. I mean, the thing is, the thing I don't understand is that if you switch on the news here in Britain, they're banging on about the immigration and all of this kind of stuff, and it's getting out of proportion, and it's ridiculous, and conspiracy theories and all that. The thing is, Australia, a country that I've never been to, we often hold up Australia as a prime example of the way Britain should be about the points system. A lot of people in Britain think, immigration doesn't go on in Australia, and yeah, I hear Australian people saying something entirely different. Really, I don't get it. I really, really don't. I don't get it. And another thing about Nigel Farage, the architect of Brexit, is that for someone who apparently, hates people from other countries, he has the knack of holding them up as a shining example. This is how things are done in Australia. This is how things are done in Germany. This is from someone who appears to hate other countries. It's all a bit bizarre, really. Stephen West, a one-bedroom flat in London is now £1,300 per month. That actually sounds cheap. What part of London is that? That's obviously not central London. Yeah, McLaren, Clive. Maybe we need to infiltrate the callous call a illegal immigrant mafia and supply them with Chinese dinghies. They'll never make dough over them. Yeah, absolutely. I seem to recall buying. I needed to trim some hedges once, and I bought a cheap hedge trimmer, which I think was Chinese made. I used it once, and it bloody went in flames. Tai 2. Thailand state pension is 800 baht a month. 800 baht a month. What is that? What is that? Is that about 20 quid a month? Oh, my Jesus Christ almighty. Well, no, we're heading that way in this country. Issa man, immigration has nothing to do with Brexit. They could stop illegal immigration by stop issuing visas, but they won't. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's definitely an ulterior motive. No question about that. Mister, leverages allow the print up of 38 times the borrowed amounts that compete equally. Yeah, yes, yeah, okay. Daniel Mills, the Thai Navy tows immigrants back out to sea. Well, isn't that what's his name? What was his name? Tony Abbott in Australia. What isn't that what he did? Isn't that what he did? When he getting lots of immigrants from Indonesia, and he did something. He towed them all back out to sea, and he got a lot of stick for it, but it seemed to have worked. And Tony Abbott is someone that Nigel Farage holds up as a shining example, as a bit of a hero. And yet bizarrely you get Australian people who say there's too many immigrants there. It's all a bit weird. Martin Ryder, when the government made it compulsory to have a degree to train as a nurse, the British nurse became an endangered species. I don't know what it's like in other parts of the country. Where I live, most of the nurses that I've come across are actually British, but maybe it's different in other parts of the country. Boxing 14, yeah, he's entitled to his opinion. Boxing 14, mate, this country is a joke. Most Brits are just lazy chavs. Immigrants are making this country a better place. Brits can barely wash their butts. Oh, okay. I mean, I must admit, what I will say is that where I live, I mean, one of the worst bloody things when I go into town, which I rarely do because the shops are pretty crap anyway. But if I need to go into town for any reason, if I'm talking to someone on my mobile phone as I'm entering town, I say I better put this phone away now. I'm getting into town before some scabby drug addicts spots my phone and wants to borrow it to make a drugs deal. This is what happens. I mean, all of the people who approach me in town want money from me. They're all white English people. They're not foreigners at all. Mark Alec, I knew a ginger who was very tasty. Ginger Rogers. Lovely stuff. Absolutely lovely stuff. I'm actually getting a bit healthy now. I've actually started to eat the proper ginger. I actually chopped a bit of it up and put it in the blender with a lemon, and it was quite strong stuff, but it went down well anyway. Apparently, ginger is very, very good for you. Paul Hoskin, that AI tech firm boss made a lot of money in America. AI, we talk about AI. I'm gonna. It won't be the last that we've heard about that. I'm pretty sure. I want my own personal robot. I want a robot. I want a robot to clean my home and cook me dinner for me. Kiki and Jasmine say a three-bedroom house in Dublin now commands almost 3,000 a month rent. Wouldn't like to be renting, that's for sure. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Sean Harris, why was Rwanda chosen, by the way? I haven't got a bloody clue. Maybe they probably got it. Yeah, a map, and just got blindfolded someone. Give them a pen and stick your pen there. No, it's apparently because they're sending us people. It's a reciprocal thing. They'll take our people if we'll accept some of the people that they don't want. I think that's the way it works. Let's see, Citizen Mikey. Boxer 40, immigrants laugh at British-born people. They're becoming a joke. Yeah, that's right. Pubs, drinking, smoking, divorces, chavvy behaviour. UK was heading to the toilet before the immigrants arrived. Well, I don't know. It's all getting a bit bizarre, isn't it? It's all getting a bit bizarre. Yeah, Thai too. Nice small condos here in Thailand. In many places, 8,000 baht a month. That's 200 or 300 a month for a new one bedroom. Being living like a king here for 1,500 a month. Oh, well, that sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds realistic. 1,500 quid a month. Joker AI. Suella Braverman say we should avoid PC speech and speak the truth. Everyone knew the grooming gangs in every city in the UK, and everyone knows who the perpetrators are. Labour are monsters. Yeah. Oh, there's can't talk about all of that sick behaviour. Can't talk about all of that. No, not tonight. Definitely not tonight. Joking AI, we need immigration crisis sorting out full stop. I think at this stage we can say it's never going to be sorted out. I'm not holding my breath for it. Martin Ryder, can you imagine Mr. Charisma, Keir Starmer, and the ginger growler in power? Oh, they'd be dull as hell. They would absolutely be bloody dull, they would. Martin Ryder, I feel sorry for young people. No chance to rent property. Over 10 people chasing one house in the southeast of England. It's all gone to bollocks, mate. It's all gone to bollocks. Nick Ross is here. Why do we allow property owning MPs to vote on laws concerning property ownership and renting it as a conflict of interest? Oh, it's absolutely, well, absolutely. It's all we allow property owning MPs to vote on laws because it's like bollocks, just like everything else. But nice to hear from you, Nick. Let's see. Hard Tulip is here. Nice to hear from you, mate. Africa is the second biggest continent, so I googled asking which African countries are safe. The reply was only about 5 countries. But I've heard that Bangkok is safer than London and US cities. Well, Bangkok's a safe place, definitely, unless you do something really, really foolish. Bangkok is is a safe place. Joker AI. Eddie, if you love Sylvia Christel, The Streetwalker is a mass. I've never seen that one. I've heard of it. And it's a must for everyone on here. The Streetwalker, also known as La Marge, is a French film released in 1976. Okay, and she was nice and hairy. I mean, have you seen the Emmanuel movies? I mean, I think the first one was set in Bangkok, or some of the scenes, and all these ladies at the swimming pool, and they're lovely and hairy, and magnificent. They were the days. Federally fitness. The West is going down the shitter. It's all part of the Great Reset. Now, that is a good comment. That is a really, really good comment. Good comment. Boxing 14. Ed, what are you watching on Netflix? I'll tell you what, I've been watching Amazon the last couple of nights. And I've watched a couple of movies on Amazon the last couple of nights. And they were both really, really good. I'd never heard them. One of the movies I watched was called Bloodshot with Vin Diesel. It's a sci-fi action movie, and it was pretty good. It's You know, well, like the kind of movie Arnold Schwarzenegger would have made in the 1980s. It's in that league, but it was a good movie, and one that I watched last night. What a movie that I watched last night. It was called The Tomorrow War, and that was a science fiction movie, which went on a bit, but it did get better and better. So they're both on Amazon, so they're well worth a look. The Joker AI, The Streetwalker remains a notable film within the realms of French cinema. It continues to captivate audiences and serves as a testament to the artistic and creative endeavours of the cast and crew. Yeah, the Emmanuel movies were good. Sylvia Christel. Sylvia Christel. Anyway, she had a habit of being in some superior movies of the skin flick genre. I'll have to catch up with that one of these days, definitely. Stephen Tutty, over 600,000 immigrants to the UK so far this year. How? I think you'll find it's over the last year, really, but it's awful. Nick Ross, I worked and lived in Australia years ago, but it's just as effed as the UK now. Until we get MPs who are not corrupt, the UK will continue to spiral out of control and disaster. Okay, very well. That's a bit of doom and gloom. It's not good right now. The UK, it's not the country it was, and I feel sorry for people who lived in and a lot of cities in the UK. I don't know. I know Liverpool, and I lived in Liverpool and London. I don't really go to other cities in the UK. I don't know what they're like, but by all accounts, they're sounding pretty horrific in this day and age. You know, let's see. Boxing 14, Australia is much worse than the UK. The women are more masculine than the men. Really, really, I must admit, I met some fairly rough-looking Australian women. I must admit, but I love Kylie Minogue. Kylie Minogue's oh, she's hot. I love Kylie Minogue. Love her. Joker AI, The Streetwalker Lamar's 1976, starring Sylvia Christel and Joe D'Alessandro, with music by 10cc, Chopin, Elton John, and Pink Floyd screens Saturday night. On what channel? That sounds bloody good, that mate. That sounds bloody good. I'd like to see it. Nicholas, how can you justify that? I wouldn't justify any of them, mate, to be honest with you. Absolutely not. Stephen Sussy, how many cross the channel every day in those boats? Why don't the Navy control this as it is a narrow stretch of water? It's easier said than done. I mean, you say, why don't they control it? Because they want to be seen to be kind. Governments want to be kind. They don't want to be seen to be brutal. I mean, how are you suggesting we should control it? Bloody machine guns. Hasta la vista, baby. Shoot the dinghies. How are we suggesting that we control it? Oh, we live in a crazy world, mate. We live in an absolutely crazy world. Nick Ross, vote reform. Get rid of the crap two and a half political parties in the UK. We're never going to get rid of them. I mean, it's one of those things, one of those modern sayings. It is what it is. In our lifetime, in my lifetime, I don't think we'll ever see a time when parties other than the main two get into power. You say half a party, the Liberal Democrats had about 5 minutes of success, didn't they? A few years back in the coalition. It is what it is. I mean, it's one of those things. They'll talk and talk and talk about it, but in our lifetime, it's just going to go on forever. The Joker. I'm sure he's got shares in that movie. Let's see. Ben Leno, you don't need a degree to be a nurse. Diploma is enough. Yeah, that sounds about right. Justin Bieber, vlogging has took the mystique and adventure away from travel. Yeah, but it's also added to a lot of things. It's giving people information that they wouldn't normally have. It's also added to it. Mark Hollick, now this is interesting. The governor of Texas buses the illegal immigrants entering into his state to Joe Biden's house. Well, I didn't know that, but we had something similar. Well, Germany had something similar a few years back when Angela Merkel was inviting all of the illegals to come, all of these asylum seekers to come across the border into Germany and swamp the country. And a lot of these people were coming to places like Bavaria. Now I've been to Bavaria. I mean, it's the wonderful images of Germany. Mountains and chocolate box scenery and chocolate box houses and castles and all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, all of these people from another culture were swamping into Bavaria. And I think the mayor of, the governor of Bavaria done something similar. He sent them all in a busload to Berlin. Why not? Why the hell not? Tai 2 says he has family all over the USA. It's worse than the UK. Homeless situation is worse than it's ever been. I must admit, I mean, I've been watching. I don't know the name of the vlogger, but there is a YouTube channel of a guy who drives around. These slums of Philadelphia and Baltimore and other places. Oh, they look bloody horrendous. They look seriously bad. He was driving around Philadelphia, and it just reminded me of the way Toxteth used to look like in the days of the riot, before and after the riots. Bottle Baby says everyone blames the Chinese, but they only don't bring them into it. but they only build what their spec is given by their label. Okay. Kiki and Jasmine, if you're going to retire in Thailand, excluding Bangkok and Pattaya, where would it be? I think they're really the only two places that I would retire to. I mean, because I've been to all the other places, and some of those islands are really lovely, absolutely. Although I do rather like Koh Chang. I do like Koh Chang quite a lot. Mark Oleg, Eddie, the new internet appears to be working very well. Okay, thanks for that. Anyway, thanks. Yeah, I'm really, really glad to hear that. And I've got a green screen at the back here. It's not perfect, but it does the best anyway. So yeah, it seems to be doing okay. Thanks for that. Justin Bieber, you'll be buying a smoothie maker next. I've got a blender. I have a blender. Today I chucked a lemon, plums, and ginger in the blender, and it come out with a strong taste of ginger, but I think that's quite healthy. A very, very nice one is orange and plum fruit shake in the blender. I like that one. Nick Ross, get rid of the monarchy for this. Oh, Jesus Christ, we're getting 600,000 immigrants in the last year, and now you want to get rid of the monarchy. I think we want this to remain Britain. Getting rid of the monarchy. I mean, that's I think right now the immigrants are are the problem. I don't think the monarchy is really the problem right now. But Clem Formley's a Hereford County Hospital is about half British looking nurses are foreign. Good amount of Indian, African, Eastern European, and Filipino health workers. Yeah, absolutely. Where I live, it's mainly English people. Chaz Brown, they chose Rwanda as it's cheap, and the deal is we send one illegal and they send us one of their people. Shh, don't tell the British people. Public way of feeling. Yeah, it's something like that. Nick Ross, it is a radical idea. In Amsterdam and shortly Rotterdam, it is now illegal to purchase a property that is not going to be your primary residence. has been hailed a massive success. Well, that's another story, isn't it, really? Nick Ross, another comment. Families of local childcare are shared again, saving a fortune and pleasing the families. Local shops are again thriving as the houses are lived in. Okay. I'll go with that. That's not really what we're talking about, but yeah, I get it. Thai too, but I'm living like a king here in Thailand for 1,500 quid a month. But I can't get one bedroom modern apartment in the UK with villa and taxes for 1,400 quid with our cost of living. Yeah, but can you earn money in Thailand? If you still need to earn money, is Thailand the place to be? What is this? Life Utopia. Just flew Bangkok Air from Yatao Airport to Samui. Really comfortable journey and only 46 quid. I love low seas. It's probably good if you're out there at low seas, but what if it rains? And you mentioned Koh Samui. I mean, the thing is, when it's really raining heavily in the rainy season, islands can be the worst place to be because once you add the rain to it, there's not a great deal to do there. Martin Ryder, my IPA party pack is getting lonely. I have to go and keep it company. Have a great weekend. Okay. All right. You too. Anyway, lovely of you to come along. Yeah, Barry Hall is saying it was in Pattaya now. Fancy a pint later. Okay. AG, hi, it's about time now for Roger or Dodger. We haven't done that for a long time. We've done that on the other channel. And some people liked it and some people hated it. Doesn't appeal to everyone. Mark Alex says, Eddie, I just watched John Wick, Chapter 4. Highly recommend it, Keanu. Really? Okay, I'll give it a go sometime. I did watch one of the John Wick movies and they were pretty good. Yeah, so I'll give that a go sometime. McLaren F1, you dirty old man. Yeah, but she has got a lovely ass, definitely. Wildcat 66. I always look at the chat before I commit my time. I think I will leave it. I'm a wee wildcat who lives in a cave in the Highlands of Scotland. There are more important channels for me. Well, of course there are. They're all talking about Philip Schofield. There's plenty of channels out there, right now that are talking about Schofield. For those in other countries like America or Australia who don't know who Philip Schofield is, you're lucky. You don't want to know. Let's see. Barry Hall, both parties are the same. It's the same in every country. They just make you believe you have a choice, but they're controlling everything. That's why Trump is hated so much. He's not a globalist. Okay, fair enough. Richard O, apples and carrots in the blender is very, very nice. Do you know something? I mean, yeah, probably. But I've been looking for carrots. I often do throw a carrot in the blender, but I can't actually get any at the local co-op. There's still a lot of stuff that isn't on the shelves. Hard tulip. Ed, your smoothie drink sounds high in sugar. I use a fruit recipe, adding a tablespoon of oats to control the sugar. Okay, fair do. I was going to take a quick little old break, and then I'll be back in a moment with a little bit of a tribute. Back in a moment. Okay, it's me again. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. What was that again? Ed, your smoothie drink sounds like it is high in sugar. I use a fruit recipe and a tablespoon of oats to control the sugar. Okay, that sounds very, very nice, tasty. Okay, so Eastern man, rainy season is May to October, July and August being the wettest. Okay. Yeah, Barry Hall, have a good weekend. I'm going to out now to find the street brass in Pattaya. Good, well, you happy hunting. Happy hunting. Clive, okay, we'll have a look at that some of the time. We'll have a look at that some. Is that somebody said? Somebody said no sound. Oh, okay. So anyway, tribute time. Okay, we're coming towards the end of this. I'm still doing 3 live streams. They may not be perfect, but maybe get something again over the weekend. We don't know. As I mentioned, I have a hospital appointment tomorrow. This has cheered me up. This has, maybe forget about it for 90 minutes anyway. But I just want the whole nasty ordeal over and done with. But anyway, this week saw the passing of the wonderful, late, super talented, the amazing Tina Turner. There's Tina Turner. She's a lovely woman, but amazingly talented. So who liked Tina Turner? I mean, like it or love it, she was amazingly, amazingly charismatic. In the same way as somebody like Barbara Streisand, love it or hate her, you couldn't ignore it, and you couldn't deny that Tina Turner was an amazing singer, amazing star quality. And even though she wasn't one of my personal favorites, so much respect for her. She's a wonderful singer. So anyway, anyone love Tina Turner? But yeah, Clive loved Tina. Clive loved Tina. Tai too. I could be beating up a ghost spirit out about now. Oh God, he was terrible, wasn't he? Clive, I like most of Tina's stuff. I liked it. I mean, she could put a song across. Wonderful, wonderful singer. Absolutely wonderful singer. Even though she wasn't a personal favorite of mine, I had total respect for her. Absolutely. Nick Ross, Tina simply the best. Okay, I'll go along with that. Mark, I like Tina Turner. She survived a lot of abuse from Ike. I know who would have known it at the time. I mean, it all came out many, many years later. But yeah, apparently he was a bit of a twat, wasn't he? Hike Veld, Mad Max. Yeah, she was in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, wasn't she? She was amazingly charismatic, absolutely charismatic. Like I said, not a personal favourite of mine, but I would quite happily have watched Tina Turner in concert because she was a superstar. There you go. And they say that she had a wonderful pair of legs. Wonder, Ike was a great blues man. Singapore down the $1 million legs, absolutely. David Coleman's here, made a late appearance. Nice to hear from you, David. Must have missed lots. Sad about it. Well, I don't know. She lived to 83, didn't she? I mean, 83. I mean, that's not a bad age to live. 83 is a good age, and she died, living in a beautiful big estate in Switzerland. So she had a good life. But I mean, apart from suffering domestic abuse, she had a good life. So I don't really think you can say it's sad. Taxis allow. Respect to Turner, but can't listen to her songs. Laura Branigan any day, okay? Mark Alec, Tina could be my private dancer anytime, okay? Yes, wonderful, wonderful, amazing. Nick Ross, Tina was tiny, only 5 foot 4 inches tall. Okay, well, that's not tiny. That's really reasonable size for a woman, isn't it? McLaren F1, who knew she lived in Switzerland for 18 years? Swiss citizenship in 2013. Well, if you can afford it, why the hell not? Switzerland's a beautiful country. Lewis C. She sang backing vocals on 2 Zappa albums back in 1973, but I couldn't let Frank credited on the albums. Good in Tommy too, in the Acid Queen. Yeah, wonderful. Mark Oleg, Cher had some good memories of her, she said yesterday. Oh, give me Tina. I mean, Cher has got a good voice, but I don't. Not one of my favorites. Cher is not one of my. I prefer Tina Turner really. Cher has had far too much of the old plastic stuff. Far too much of it. Joe Correa, there was a film project in 1980 in which filmmakers wanted to play a prostitute. The film in question is Street Smart, released in 1987. Missed that one. Bobby Crush. I was responsible for some of Tina's biggest hits. Yeah, I loved Nutbush City Limits, River Deep, Mountain High, and all that. Wonderful. Wayne Ritchie. I just tuned in right now. My favorite song from there was What's Love Got to Do with It? Great song. Wonderful, wonderful. David Coleman, he sang with so many great bands and other singers. They all moved there. Absolutely. McLaren of one and a tax haven, mind. Yeah, okay, Switzerland. Yeah, I see. Bobby Crush. Gotta feel sorry for all the Tina's tribute acts in Benidorm. Okay. Andrew Johnson is here, my friend in John TM. How's it going, Andrew? Nice to hear from you. It must be about 4:30 in the morning. I hope you're well as well, Andrew. Anyway, I hope you're really, really well and everything's going well. Andrew's moved out to Thailand and he's having a great time out there, so good for him. Lewis C. Okay, Lewis C. Check out Dynamo by Zappa. Best song about a three-way. Tina is on it. Okay. So anyway, here we go. So anyway, Tina Turner's died, 83 years of age. She had a good life. She's had a good life, regardless of an amazing talent. So she lived to a ripe old age. She lived to a ripe old age, so you can't really say that it's really, really that sad. But God bless Tina Turner. Wonderful, wonderful talent. And she will be remembered forever. Wonderful voice. Nick Ross says, all the time Tina lived in Switzerland, she paid US taxes. Okay. Let's see. Okay. AJ Cher is an underrated actress being so good. She probably is, but it's just not a favorite of mine. Not a favorite of mine. Okay. Anyway, it's an hour and 36 minutes. We've waffled on a little bit. This live stream has cheered me up because I've got a hospital appointment tomorrow and I just want to get the nasty order. I'm probably worrying about nothing, but you never know. I mean, it could still be. Oh, I just want to get it over and done with. So I'm going to say good night now. Anyway, I'm going to say good night. Bobby Crush says, "Smash the like." Okay, I'll play out with a. I'll play out with a still. I think it's this one here, and basically, I'll probably tell you about the hospital appointment if I survive it. Okay. So anyway, guys. Thanks for coming along tonight. Have a great weekend anyway. Hope the sun's shining for everybody. I'll be back on Monday at 9 o'clock anyway. And have a great weekend, a great bank holiday, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.